hated me.
So in today's videos we'll be talking about the Devex rate. I'm still new to this format. I wanted to try something different for a video. So this is about the developer exchange rate on Roblox. There's this topic I saw on Dev Forum talking about where it's fair, is it going to be useful, should you just keep carrying on Roblox for the money? Now the first thing we know is the current exchange rate is 100k for $350. That is 1 Robux is equal to 0.0035. Do the calculation yourself and it will be accurate. But the good thing is that it's a change rate from the old one, and the old one was back in 2017. I'll show that in a bit. And it's increased significantly. I think it's 0.0025 to this, and that's good, I guess, because now you can see that this is where the question comes in. Does Roblox listen to developers, or is it because they have a larger fan base growing? I mean, player base. It's because of a larger player base, probably. That so developers will feel more motivated to make more games for them. Another thing is that there is no percentile increase. So if you do have 10 million Robux, that's basically the same thing as this one, because it's only times 100. So it's not really a difference at all, except that there's more Robux mean more money. Now, referring to the exchange rate that has changed, what was the application that just happened? So this is the current, and that's the old one, which is amazing because that's basically 10 more. And you can see that Roblox has already done that. This is more, and you get the same amount of Robux. And this applied, well, the state. We could say Roblox is doing this for a player base that was growing, because obviously during this time, the Roblox is still growing. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the comparison between the actual market price of Robux compared to the rate. So this is equal to 0.015 equal to 1 R. That's 1 Robux. That's a big difference compared to this. See, an extra zero is added. Extra zeros so these are both for 1 Robux, and that's a big difference. I'd say that maybe it makes sense because it could be that the reason why there's tax on a lot of things is because some people say that it could be not to bypass the system, and I can't remember what the system was. It could be with the trading where you don't get the full amount of Robux when you sell something. So yeah, that's the system make sure not people don't bypass the Devex rate. I suppose it's not a good thing to reach because it's not a supported argument. Basically, it's not supported. But in other words, this is 3.7. This is literally times 3.7. That number is a bit big. That would, in my opinion, should be times 1.5. That's my opinion. Maybe other developers probably want the exact same rate. We'll never know. But this fair, maybe. I just don't know what to say. Reason why Roblox ultimately did this. Maybe because that they don't want to spend too much on the developing, because there's already a lot of competition in developing games, a lot of games. So it's just made it the same rate, and that means you'll lose more than what you gain, which means that you have a negative profit. I don't think that'll happen though. Topics under the forum was saying is a bit low, it's not fair. You can see why it has decreased. For the first reason is free servers. Now, free servers is a really good thing because servers are a lot to pay for, because you have to pay the electricity bills for them. And normally, if you play Minecraft, to buy a server, you need to pay, obviously. And that's why free servers are a good thing. So, well, all over the world, globally, there's a bit of different regions, and they have their own servers. Another thing is it could be a free engine. I don't think that's really a big issue because free engines, even it's a free engine with lots of tools. And I want to make a comparison because it's a free engine with lots of tools, but there's also plugins which you still have to pay for some of them. But there's also free market asset place, which is fair. It could change in a few years where they make people actually have to buy for more assets. But if we compare this with Unity, in Unity itself, it's cost this much just for Unity Pro, and that gives you to publish and do this. And when you say you publish, you can already do that in Roblox, and you get more professional too. But you already get that in Roblox. You already got good tools, and you also got plugins, some that you have to buy for or not. And I don't really know what other D stuff. I'm not gonna talk about this. I know that Roblox might not be good with customer service to developers because I've heard a lot of forums saying that they've been compromised. Now, it might not be fair because the thing is, we developers already got tax taken on our game passes, and that's literally 30%. And this is also a problem because those who work with Talent Hub sometimes pay by game passes and they won't get the exact earnings that they were supposed to get. And not only that, you still have to pay for, well, badges, and you still have to pay for videos, upload cost, so you still have to pay for the videos. Another thing is that we have UGC creators, and if you don't know, I think UGC creators also have the ability to probably do Devex. Maybe some of them do, those who work in a game as well. They still have to pay 750 for upload costs. And that could be fair to despite the fact that UGC is still out, it's still quite new. So that means that there's still a fair competition in the market. So you can still probably reach the top with newer assets. Let's say a hair, for example, you can sell that and it might sell a lot because there's still not many on the UGC market. So despite all of that, does it really make it fair? Now, to think it is fair, the time it does take to develop a game is probably roughly, I say 6 months for a simple game. Not simple, but average intermediate game that will encourage players, not hobbies, but more like simulators, which could equal to 3 months as well. But some games that maybe blocks food, but usually around a year, and this is real developers actually creating AAA games. It's gonna take more than a year. The thing is, if you're alone, it might take you a year, and if you have a big team, it could take you 3 months. But the thing is, if you're creating a very big game with 3 developers, I think 7 or 1, you can create a really good game for 7 years. And there's a game called Battle Bits, so that's why 7 years. Making a game that's similar to Battlefield takes long. But although that thing, it could not be fair because DevX is so low, the motivation you get is, well, what's the point if you get lower? Then, well, the time only spent, but thing is, your game isn't gonna get recommended. And why? Because Roblox is focusing on the player base. If a game already exists and has a larger fan base, that means that game is more likely to be recommended. That means that you know that game's gonna be good. That's why Roblox is a bit smart, but also compromising a lot of things. Let's move on to the next thing. We'll be talking about the future of Devex. Now, the future of Devex, I have a paper right here. Maybe there's a compromisation in developers. Now, there's already a lot of there's already a dev forum post talking about that Roblox is already compromising developers. Ignore my spelling mistake. I just can't waste my time rubbing out. But compromisation because, well, you've already got a lot of other developers. Why should we care about this one? Why should we care about him? So that means that this relates to my one of my arguments that games, they just focusing for a bigger player base, not focusing for the developers how they are going to cope with what's going on with Roblox. I wouldn't really say this yet, although because the dev forum was actually talking about that the fact that there's no support, and well, maybe in the future that's where compromising developers might actually come in when you got competition. And let's imagine that's competition. Now, because of competition, you can see that it could be healthy. So let's order this out. It could be healthy or unhealthy, and it sounds dumb, but it makes sense because if it's healthy, that means that it's supporting the developers with benefits. You're winning the side, and competition could be like core. And I want to talk about core in a bit, and maybe Fortnite because that's also releasing a game engine, I suppose, on Creative 2.0. But core is popular for known having fair shares with the developers. So maybe that could help this. So there's benefits without, let's say, without risk. But this is benefit with risk or no benefit at all. And when you get benefits, larger player base, risk, you lose your developer community, there's no support, and people won't play the game, they won't update the game anymore. And that's the thing about competition. It could either lead to both ways. But for now, we shouldn't worry about it because core is still, I wouldn't say new thing, but it's known. It's not popular as Roblox itself. Next thing is tax increasing. This is stupid, but when tax is increasing due to cost of living price increasing, you have to pay for more servers, electric energy bills. So when you have bills to pay, you still have to pay a lot more might increase. And I think that could decrease the exchange rate. We won't know that. And they can also increase the tax on the game passes itself. No, it's just not about me because I'm just literally looking around and see based off my ideas. But I want to hear your opinion as well because it might be different to mine. It might be that they are fair for a reasonable reason why. Um, yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about is the difference between core and Roblox. So mainly this is wow, that's 50%. That is really fair. And despite all of that, I think the developers are still coding Roblox because it's more known. But the core is based on the Lua as well. I don't really know. So knowing these figures, it could be that core might be having a larger fan base and player base, but the problem is that people might not recognize it. So whatever core does, it will still be backfired because Roblox is more recognized. It has more high status. I want to say another thing is I have not done Devex yet. It's because have a low amount of Robux. Thing is, I'm also a developer, but I'm spending a lot of my time trying to create games. The probably might not go successful, but it doesn't matter as long as I'm doing something. And maybe one day I could just get up to this to 1 million or something. So that's why I want to hear some of your opinion again, as I said before. So I want to hear your opinion because it might